All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Kalpesh Patel, and I'm super excited to be with you today on Nuts and Bolts. We're going to be covering different areas of skills every single week so that you can become the best version of you in the beautiful industry of direct selling, becoming a professional network marketer. And that is what this journey is all about. I started my journey in 1995. Goodness, what a journey it's been. 27 years down the line, and here we are. I've been really blessed to have seen the highs and the lows, to see the peakest, the highest of peaks and the lowest of the troughs. Been through it all. And so to this day, I can confidently say there is nothing that you are going through that I haven't already been through, right? Every single thing. Like anytime I hear anyone say anything about anything, I can remember a time in my life where I went through a very, very, very similar journey. And so it's an emotional journey, right? Network marketing, direct selling, multi-level marketing is an emotional learning journey. Everything that I share from firsthand experience, and not just because it's unique to me, but because it's generic to everybody, like it really is. When I boil it down and I look back and I analyze, all of the successes globally, they all have exactly the same thread running through their veins. And so, getting to the top is what it's all about. All right, that's for me. And I want you to learn from that getting to the top mindset. Not everyone wants to get to the top, and I get that. But and that's why I often say, if you just grab a piece of what it is that it takes to get to the top, then you'll get a piece of that journey, whatever that piece of the journey is for you. All right. But if you want to get to the top, that is the conversation that you've got to have with yourself. For me, it's always been that. I don't do anything just to try it out. That's just not me. I'd rather do nothing at all or everything. The trying it out thing is not my personality. I don't go, oh, let's give it a go and see how it works out. Not interested at all. Zero interest in poking it with a stick. Because if I'm going to give any of my time, energy, or attention to anything, then there's only one reason I'm doing it. And that is to be the best at it that I possibly can. And that's the approach, all right? So the approach from day one is, am I going to do this to the absolute best of my abilities? And am I willing to pay the price? Am I willing to learn what I need to learn? Am I willing to grow into who I need to grow into being? Am I willing to do everything, whatever it takes, so that I can achieve what I see other people achieving? So if anyone else has got to the top, for me, it's a no-brainer. If any other human on the planet can do it, I can do it. That's just my mind frame, right? And it's been like that from the beginning. I remember, that very first time I sat in a room, mesmerized by the speaker, blown away by the conversation, and committed myself to mastering the journey. Unfortunately, in my early days, there was a ton of arrogance that got in the way as well, right? Because I was very successful already in my previous life in traditional business. And a lot of my traditional business skills were getting in the way of me becoming a professional in the network marketing space. So for the first 3 years, I was learning from a place of traditional business thinking. And that came with its own frustrations and limitations. All right. There's only so far I would get. And I was naturally great. So that leaned on my side, because being a young entrepreneur, I'd already learned a ton of the skills that most people struggle with. All of the skills of building rapport, connecting with people, being able to influence conversations. Selling was something I was doing since I was 11 years old, right? So a lot of the skills I had under my belt already, but there were a load of other subtle skills that I was missing. And it took me 3 years to put it all together. If you imagine, I had some parts of the jigsaw puzzle worked out, and I had other parts that were invisible to me for 3 years because of my arrogance and my narrow-mindedness around growth and learning. All right. So not that I wasn't growing and learning. I've just naturally always been a grower and a learner anyway, but I'll do it my way. For 3 years, I did it my way, all right, because I knew better. Like, I had made more money than any other network marketing person that was teaching me at that time. in my traditional businesses. So I brought that arrogance to the table, and I was like, whatever they're trying to teach me, I already know. And it's such a subtle thing between I already know mindset and, do you know what? I haven't got a clue, because if I did, I'd be making 20 grand a month passively as well, like they are. So the 3 years of that gap was me. I was in my own way because I thought I knew it all, because I had all the answers already. So I wasn't, although I'm a learner because I learned from myself. I wasn't willing to learn from outside. I wasn't coachable. I wasn't teachable in the sense that I'm talking about, and I wasn't trainable in the sense I'm talking about. I was pretending to be coachable, teachable, and trainable. But it was my arrogance that was leading the conversation. And I did all right. I sold products. I sold memberships. I made some money here and there, side hustle, a few quid there, and it was all right. But most would look at me and say, wow, you're successful. But I never made more than like $2 grand a month in the first 3 years. And I would spend as much on my learning and education and training. Every cassette that ever came out, I'd buy it. Every book that came out, I'd buy it. Every videotape that came out, I'd buy it. So all the money I was making was pouring back into because it was traditional business, right? So I was pouring it back into my business because that's what I was used to doing. So I wasn't afraid of spending the profit that I made on investing in my learning. But like I said, the switch came one day when one of my uplines back in my early journey said to me, Kalpesh, you're a very successful individual in your traditional world. And I often wonder why you haven't succeeded in this industry. And I said, and in my limited view of the world, I was like, well, I am succeeding. I'm making like a couple of grand a month part-time. I've got my other business going over there, and I come out a couple of evenings a week and I do this. I'm making a couple of thousand. Most of the people in the room are not making that. And he said, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how can I make 20 grand a month and you only reached 2 grand a month? And that was when I realized, I was like, I forgot that when I joined, I saw that was possible. At some point, I gave up. Your subconscious gives up, and your ego won't even let you know that it's given up. So I was doing the actions. I was showing up at the events. I was, sharing my story and my testimonial, and I was taking the actions, but I wasn't growing. So it was 3 years down, 1998, 99, 3.5 years down. Yeah, 1999, I believe it was. I'd have to go back and check. But an opportunity landed on my table. It was in telecommunications. So I already had a telecom company of my own. So when the MLM telecom opportunity landed on my table, I guess there was a synergy there already, an understanding of, okay, I get telecoms, so I'm already in it. And if I can use network marketing to leverage that, wow. So there was a combination of stuff, right? So number one, it was a conversation that I was already tuned into. So I was ready to listen, learn, and a bit more eager. But also because that conversation was had, like, why aren't you making 20 grand a month like I am? When the new opportunity arrived, my mindset was different. And my decision changed. And the decision now was, I'm going to go to the top. And you know what? I got to the top of that company. Many here may have heard of it back in the late 90s, 1999, I think it was. Might have been 98, back end. Euphony. It was a guy called Dan, what's his surname? Can't remember. Dan somebody from the US. He was one of the owners of XL Communications. XL Communications at the time in the 90s launched a telecom company when it deregulated, the telecom industry deregulated, and became the first network marketing company to do $1 billion a year in like within a decade. Something like really, really insane, fast growth, right? It took them a decade to get to $1 billion a year, which back then in network marketing was unheard of. All right, of course, we've smashed those records in more recent times, but I'm talking about in the 90s, pre-internet, pre-technology, no WhatsApp, no Telegram, no mass communication tools around. It was emails was about as good as it got, and then the rest was phone calls, right? So XL Communications, one of the owners, broke away, came to the UK, launched this company. And what was different? Because network marketing is always the same, right? Great product, great services, great vision to walk into, great comp plan. That's all there. That's standard. I was different. I came in and I knew I was going to get to the top. I made a decision to get to the top. And I became the fastest principal consultant in the company. I did it in 90 days, unheard of. That was the top of the plan, 90 days, fastest principal consultant in the company. How can that be? Just like that. It was a decision. So I want you all to look at the decision you've made. What is your decision? Like I'm talking about, when you make a decision, the word decision comes from the word to decipher, to cut off all other possibilities. Like there's no other option. You're burning every bridge, destroying every boat, except for the one you're on. That's it. It's all or nothing. There is no halfway. There is no maybe, let's see how it goes. No. See, when you make a decision, it crushes everything else. The power of decision, once you decide on your outcome, like why you're doing it and where you're going with it, the decision to get to the top no matter what, all obstacles disappear. All negative voices in your head disappear. All negativity from outside disappears. You become bulletproof. Your excuses disappear. There's no such thing as objections or rejection. None of that exists, because the only thing that exists is the decision that you're going to get to the top no matter what. Whatever it takes. That's a mindset. You don't have to know everything because you know you're going to learn everything. You don't have to stress that you don't know everything because you know you will by the time you get to the top. See, the decision is already made. I'm just saying that a lot of people sit on the fence with that decision. Getting in is not decided. People think getting in is the decision. No, that's not the decision. I'm not talking about decision to participate. I'm not talking about decision to buy a product or a decision to share. I'm talking about the decision to get to the top no matter what. It's a permanent decision. It's do or die. See, then there's 100% focus. And most people underestimate the power of focus. We're distracted. I will say 95% of network marketers are distracted. They've got a plan B. They've got a plan C. They've got a plan D and E and F. They've got all these things that they're juggling and messing with and playing around with. It's a complete distraction. See, getting to the top is one thing. Getting to the top at lightning speed is another conversation. Every company I've ever joined since, I've always got to the top, and 9 out of the 12, I've got to the top faster than anyone else in the company. Not accidental. That's not luck. That's not a phenomenon. It's a formula. It's just a formula. I really want to get that across to anybody that's watching this, that once you understand that there's a science to this, then the formula is what you're applying. And it starts with that single-minded, 100% committed, no matter what. There's no options. I'm getting there with my friends, without my friends, with my family, without my family, with my team, without my team. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. You don't get deflated anymore. Some of us get deflated. I've been through all that. 3 years, 3.5 years. I struggled with all of the crap that goes on. You just put a team together, and then that team, the leader of the team, goes somewhere else and takes the team with them. Bang. You're deflated. You're wounded. Why? Because you're in your head, you are relying on someone else to get you there. I don't rely on anyone to get me anywhere. And I appreciate everyone that's in the journey with me all the way to the top. But I don't rely on any single one person at all. I'll rebuild everything from scratch again and again every day. That's the mindset. And if people are still hanging around, great. And if they're not, great, because they're on their journey. Can you see? Decision's been made. Nothing else gets in the way of that decision. It's already done. So it also, and I said earlier on, it's an emotional journey, right? So it allows you to handle your decision. Your decision allows you to handle your emotions much better. Network marketing is an emotional journey to the top. You are working out how to manage your emotions, how to turn negativity into positivity, how to turn fear into focus, how to turn, whatever's holding you back, excuses into results, right? It's all in here. It's such a mental game. It frustrates the hell out of me when people call me up or message me asking me, look, there's got to be a secret. What is the secret? I'm like, it's inside of you. It's not outside. Or, Kalps, I've got this great new funnel system. Guess what? All the people selling you funnels are not at the top of plans. Get the clue. They're busy making money selling you a funnel. If the funnel worked, they wouldn't be busy selling you the funnel, would they? Every lead generator that's ever called me, Kalpesh, I can get you leads every day, top quality leads, 100% triple qualified leads. Great. Join my company and use your own leads. They disappear. Boom, gone. Huh? I thought your leads were triple qualified, 100% solid, brilliant leads. Why did you run away when I said you could use them yourself? Because they're not. It's a nonsense. Can you see? But I see through all of that because I've been through all that. I've spent stupid amounts of money on funnels and bots and systems and all of the stuff, leads and this and that. And it's not about any of that stuff. If any of that worked, it would work, right? It doesn't. And the proof is in the people that are selling it. Everyone that sells you this stuff is making the money selling you the stuff. It's like people in Forex programs. They don't make money from Forex. What are you doing? You're selling Forex education, but you're not making money from Forex. You're selling money. You're making money selling the Forex education. Hello. How much did you make in Forex? What do you mean you can trade? One of the biggest Forex, I'm not going to name names, but he's a friend of mine, so I know personally, one of the biggest, two of them actually in England, two of the biggest Forex course sellers in England don't trade Forex. And they're branded all over the net as the bee's knees, the number one, the best of the best. Lambos, Ferraris, helicopters, all this stuff going on. They do not do Forex themselves. They just sell courses to people that are desperate. It's sad. It's horrible. It's nasty, but it is what it is. And, as long as there's a demand for that kind of stuff, I guess somebody will fulfill it, right? But bottom line is, all of that stuff is all smoke and mirrors. Network marketing is such a beautiful journey when you take it on internally, when you understand that it's just simple, duplicatable, daily actions. Consistency over time is all it is. Simple actions. Pick up the phone, speak to a human being. Send a message to a human being. Say hi. Break the ice. Build some rapport. Get to know them. Find out what they want. Find out what they've been through. Get into their world. Get into their shoes. Empathize. Relate. Connect. Have a real human conversation, heart to heart, face to face, on a Zoom, on a WhatsApp video call. Make it real. Reach out and make a difference. Actually go through that process of caring and making a difference, feeling their humanity, connecting to that part of the journey that they're on, that maybe you're on, maybe you're about to go on, maybe you haven't been through what they've been through yet. We all go through all of it at some point anyway. So either you've been through what they've been through and you'll connect, or you'll learn from what they've gone through because you haven't been there yet. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. But get to know people, get to connect with people, get to the core of where they're at, where they want to go, and then build that bridge of, hey, listen, why don't we get on this journey together? Why don't we get to the top together? I've got a great vehicle. Come and have a look. I've got an environment, got a training system. You just need to plug into it. And it works because it works on this all the time. Can you see that? And then the secret then becomes, if once, imagine you're bulletproof, imagine you're rejection proof. You are objection proof. You are insult proof. Imagine once you get to that point, then you become unstoppable. You become invincible. because the decision's already been made that with or without agreement, you're going to get there. With or without approval, you're going to get there. With or without recognition or pats on the back, you're going to get there. You're going to get there anyway. With or without your upline's help, you're going to get there. With or without, you know, whatever it takes, you know the next rank is yours and the rank after that is yours. When you crack that rank, you're going to crack the next one. Because if you can crack the first rank, you can crack them all. Nothing's different. There's no difference between getting to the first rank in your company and getting to the top rank in your company. Most people don't understand that. I've seen people get halfway up the ladder and get distracted. It's insane. You've done the hardest part of the work and then you get distracted and start again somewhere else. Or I've seen people do 3, 4, 5 different things and then they're wondering why none of them are exploding. They're all just trundling along. Because the magic, you know, Think and Grow Rich, like every successful talks about it, the power of focus. We underestimate the power of focus. There's one word. Like make the decision and then get 100% focused on just everything, getting to the top, not just getting to the top, getting to the top faster than anyone could imagine that you could have done it. Break all of your own records. Smash all of your historical records. You know what you've done. You know what you're capable of. Destroy it. Get that committed. However good you've done in the past, smash that. That's what I'm always up for, right? Like, okay, that was great. What else can we do? How much further can we go? How many more lives can we touch? How many more people can we reach? Can you see? That's why I'm always enthusiastic. I never get bored. I never get, I don't know if I can be bothered today. I don't have that. I can't wait. I wake up, okay, let's go, man. Come on, let's do something. Who's ready to play? Nobody's ready to plug and play anyway, right? There's always somebody in the world ready to play. Whether they're in my team or outside of my team, I don't care. If they're in my team, we play. If they're not in my team, I'll go find somebody to play with anyway. I'm always out there, right? Meeting, hustling. I've had 4 or 5 meetings today over coffee with different people. Every day. Hey, listen, let's meet up. What are you up to? Let's hustle, move. Let's go. Who else can we reach? Who else can we talk to? Who else do you know? Let's get them on a 3-way call. Let's get them here. Are they near? Good. Invite them too. Bring them with you. Little stuff. Simple stuff, right? So you're going to get, see, emotions are up and down. You're going to get all of it. It's not that I don't get rejection. I do. I just don't feel it. I'm immune to it because I've been doing it so long. I've trained that muscle. It's not that I don't get objections. I get the same objections you get, but I'm immune. I don't get phased. If you ever watched a boxing match, good analogy, boxing match, some of those punches, they land. And you see the boxer go, and when they do slow motion, the whole face goes, it's a non-human alien face. And then the face comes back and then they're still standing there. How does that happen? Because they've practiced. If you or I got that same punch on the face, we'd be on the floor crying, right? Sharon probably handles a few of those, right? Judo expert, you probably had a few of those. But when you practice something, it doesn't faze you. When you don't practice it, it phases you. That's all it is. So the answer is practice it until it doesn't faze you anymore, so that it doesn't knock you out the game. And then measure how quickly do you get back up. When shit happens, and it always does, how quickly do you get back up? That's the measure, right? Some people get up straight away. Some people get up after a few weeks, some after a few months, some after a few years, and some never get up again. That's a choice that we make. Can you see that? So the decision drives all of that. Once you decide, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm doing it all the way to the top, and I'm doing it faster than I've ever done anything before. That's when it gets fun. That's when you wake up every day and go, right, let's rumble, let's rock and roll. And we're in the greatest space of all. We are in the greatest space in terms of timing and trend. Every time I did a presentation earlier today. I don't do them often in a group setting, right? So I did one of my presentations a couple of hours ago for the South African team. And some of you might have been on there and caught some of that, right? But I'm just sitting there, I'm doing the presentation, I'm going, how can anyone not sit in front of somebody and just wrap this up, right? It's such an easy pitch. We went from this stuff, coins, then it became paper, right? This stuff, my man Mandela. Then it went to this stuff, right? Plastic. And anyone that understands what's happening right now knows that what is going on in the next decade is a worldwide conversation. Every human on the planet in the next decade, 15 years, 2 decades, I don't care, it's our lifetime right now happening, is going to have a piece of the biggest pie ever created, money. Our business is money. We're in the money business. New money, digital money, crypto. It's our era. This will only ever happen once. This only ever happened once. This only ever happened once. Guess what? What we're doing now is only ever going to happen once. Those things are not to be taken for granted. What an opportunity to participate in money, creation of money, ultimate wealth creation tool ever. What do we sell? Money. Wow. What do we buy? Money. What do we learn about? What do we teach about? Money. This is our conversation. It's why everyone else learns about other stuff to make money. Other people have to learn about this formula, that potent lotion, that powerful protein, that other molecule, this great plant, that thing that was discovered in the sea over there that nobody else found. Everyone has to have this whole kind of drama, theatrical show so that they can make money. And we actually are in that conversation from day one, from day dot. What are we selling? Money, new money. We sell contracts to people that print, mint, mine, create, manufacture money every single day. And some of us are asleep to that fact because we're just in an opportunity. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how things pan out. There's no time to see how things pan out and see how things go. That's not how network marketing works. How network marketing works is you grab the bull with both horns and you go for it all the way to the top. You don't let go, all the way to the top. One of two things is going to happen. You're either going to get to the top at lightning speed and surprise yourself, or you're going to get to the top at whatever speed you get at, but you'll get to the top because that decision is made up front and in advance. And the rest, as I always say, is just a journey. It's a journey of learning. So learn the skills. They're not rocket science. Develop your why. Get clear about what your outcomes are. What are your targets? What are you trying to achieve? And again, I break that down as well into micro chunks, right? Micro chunk everything. Get the big picture and then break it down into tiny chunks. What is it you want? And step one, always, of all wealth creation is get debt free. Clear all your bad debt. Get to net zero. First step, crush every debt that you've got, including the house that you live in. So if you've got overdrafts, kill them. Kill the high interest stuff first. If you've got credit cards, kill them. Keep one so you can use it for cash flow. Credit cards are the smartest invention on the planet for people that know what they're doing with money. Credit card companies make no money from customers that use them and pay them off on time. It's zero interest. It's free money. The problem is most people don't know how to use credit cards. They pay interest, and the interest you pay there is forever interest. You never get out of those traps. So crush that stuff. Destroy all of your high interest stuff. Then get rid of loans, bank loans, car loans, any loans. And then take on the big giant, the mortgage. All right, crush it. Do you know what it feels like to have a debt-free life? To know you never got to pay another rent payment or a mortgage payment till the day you die? Breaks my heart watching people, what they have to do just so they can make their rent payment or their mortgage payment. It's horrible. It's a freaking nightmare, palaver that we've created out there. And network marketing solves that at lightning speed, because everything you earn in network marketing is over and above whatever else you're earning. The power of network marketing is that it's a second income. Most people don't understand that concept. If you're blessed enough to be able to afford it, to do it full time, freaking off the chain, awesome, insane. But the big numbers in network marketing, the masses, the momentum comes from people who have got full-time jobs and careers or businesses and do this part-time. They have the biggest advantage because everything they earn is on top of what already covers their bills. If you're full-time in network marketing, the money you make from network marketing has to cover your bills, right? They've already got their bills covered from what they're already doing. So this can really accelerate their end game, their exit. An extra 500 a month, 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month on top of what they're already earning means that they can pay off all of their bills, their debts, their mortgages, everything within a decade. Imagine. If you overpay your mortgage by like 500 to $1,000 a month, just look at there's tons of information on this stuff. The speed with which you collapse those numbers is ridiculous. What did everyone do? They paid the minimum. The minimum means you're paying the bank the maximum interest. Out of a 25 years, you're spending the first 15 years just paying the bank interest. That's how it's designed. If you overpay a little bit, you'll have the mortgage paid in 15 years. If you pay what they ask you to pay, you'll only have paid a tiny fraction in 15 years. You start paying your mortgage off in the last 10 years. It's a stupid system, but most people don't question it. When you ask them about their mortgage, they accept, yes, 25 years. Why? Have you ever thought, why is it 25 years? It doesn't have to be. Overpay it. Then it's 10 years, 15 years, you're done, you're debt free. Most people keep themselves in the trap, right? Network marketing gets you out of all those traps at lightning speed. And then you're free for life. Because you don't have to spend that much on food. It's hardly anything. Oxygen is free, water is free. And if you shop well, food is next to free as well, right? You don't need to stress for the rest of your life trying to make $2,000 a month to pay a mortgage or rent. So get passionate about that. What is available to you? Like, are you present to that? Are you present? Why do you wake up every day and go for this? And why get to the top? Because the top means not only do you crush and collapse all of those noisy things along the way, but then you can accumulate and create generational wealth where you set yourself and your family up for life. So you not only stress-free yourself, you de-stress everyone around you. What would that be like? That might not turn you on. I don't know. I'm now getting into my personal stuff. No, what will turn you on, I'm sure, is getting debt-free. Make that your number one priority. If you've got debt-free, great. Now what? And for me, it's, who else can you bless? Who else can you give that gift to? How can you pay it forward? How can you teach others the same thing? But it's a lot easier to teach others the same thing when you get it done yourself, when they see you doing it, when they see you waking up and hustling, making it happen day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. Like if I had debt, and everyone knows this of me anyway, I'd be doing 7 Zooms a day, 7 days a week, right? Why not? What else are you doing if you're full-time? What else are you doing? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that? Get it done. If you've got numbers that are negatives, minus numbers anywhere on your balance sheet, you should be presenting 7 days a week, 7 times a day. Why not? And get that stuff out of the way. Don't have to. You can do it once a day if you want. That's why we do these daily Zooms, so that you can plug in once a day, right? For part-time people, that's the minimum you've got to teach your people, right? Teach your teams to show up once a day for themselves. They show up for 8-9 hours a day for somebody else. Build somebody else's business. Keep somebody else's organization going for a paycheck. Surely they can commit to an extra hour a day for themselves if you educate them on this. It takes a little bit of education. People don't know what they don't know. But when you wake them up to the fact that, hey, listen, you're already doing 8 hours a day for a fixed paycheck. How about doing 9 hours a day? It's just a mindset shift, isn't it? Because they would. If the boss said you're doing an extra hour a day, guaranteed they'd all do it because that was what was said. Because the government said, hey, we're going to go from 35-hour weeks to 40-hour weeks. Everybody would jump and say, yes, sir. They wouldn't question it twice. So it's just a mindset shift. Don't wait for the government to force you to work 40 hours a week or 45 hours, whatever it is, I don't know. Get yourself to do it. Just commit to it. Hour a day, done, finished. No matter what, nothing gets in the way. Nothing gets in the way of that hour a day. Finished. Then what? So get people to find out their dream, get them tuned into that, get them to commit, make a massive decision all the way to whatever their goal is, and then get them focused, and then daily, consistent, non-stop growing actions. So there you go. I've done my bit. I'm coming into the room with you guys. If you've got to, if you put your hand up, I'll bring you into the room. And if you've got anything you want to share, you want to add, feel free to do that. Any highlights from what you've learned from that little session would be always useful. Dizzy, hey there, brother. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Well, Carlos, what can I say? You deliver it every time you do it. You always say what needs to be said. And like Goran says, you are the Michael Jordan of network marketing. And there's a reason for that, because you hit it every single time you get the ball in, mate. There's a couple of things you said today. I think the conversation around what we have as far as our product is money, the time of money transitioning is happening now. Like you said, it's happening in our lifestyle, in our lifetime. These are all things that, even though we've been in the space for so long and I've been hanging around with you, I still forget that part. And so I want to thank you for acknowledging that today, because you put it on its arse, really, and made us have a checkup from the neck up. So thank you very much. I love the Tuesday, man. Love the nuts and bolts. And I want to get, you know what, a young guy of 24 by the name of Shaquille, he's an ex-barber who knows of me. We've never really chatted, but he approached me saying, listen, Dizzy, I want to know what you're doing. So he's on the call here today. I said, look, first of all, today's the day, get some training. So big yourself up, Shaquille, for getting here. And if you want to take it to the top, like I said, this is the place to be. So muchas gracias.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Dizzy. Always a beautiful blessing hearing from you. Goran, how are you, champ?
No, really good. Thanks very much, Kalpesh. Great session. I was actually driving most of the time. My son has football training on Tuesday nights, and he's one of the goalkeepers, and he has an extra special session, finishes at 8 o'clock over here. So we jumped in the car and put on the call on the phone. So you were educating my son as well. So that was great.
There you go. Do you know what? You just reminded me of how in my early days I would do that, because it's exactly that, right? You're indirectly giving people the knowledge by forcing them, but to listen to whatever it is you're listening to while you're driving. So yeah, you remind me.
We grew up
driving, I always have the stuff on.
Well, exactly. I mean, I grew up in a business through the 90s, and we had a tape of the week program, and so we would call our cars the University on Wheels. And if someone came into the car, bad luck. You were listening.
Exactly. Mobile University, we said.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And I think, to be honest, it's something that's missing a little bit these days with a lot of organizations. They don't. It's all about product and maybe the opportunity, but really, at the end of the day, it's the person that makes it happen. And that's really what you're saying here, is the ability, the understanding to make that decision. I remember a mentor of mine. I was 3 years in as well, and it was 1993, so a long time ago.
Wow,
nearly 30 years ago. And
a few years on me,
and I moved from Melbourne to Perth, and I was just starting to get some momentum, some success in the business after 2.5 years in the business, and then I moved to the city where I'd seen it, but I'd grown up in Melbourne, moved over to Melbourne. Then anyway, I moved back to Perth for a stupid reason, and I remember after floundering for a few months, it wasn't even my upline, but it was one of the crossline leaders at an event basically grabbed me and said, "Goran, you need to get back to Melbourne. You need to make a decision and then make it right."
Wow.
And those words have always lived with me ever since. And you're exactly right. And when you do make that decision, your whole physiology, your mindset, everything changes. And things come to you. The things you need will come to you. And I've certainly found, especially over the last few years, where being involved, especially in the crypto space, where you can build at the speed of light, and you can transform your situation if you apply yourself literally at the speed of light. Many of us on this call have done it. You got Dizzy, Sue here on the call who've only been in this realm for a couple of years. I mean, Sharon's been around the traps for a long time, as you have, I have, and others on the call here. But we've seen so many instances where someone has come in and maybe they've drawn on the experiences of the past, maybe they've had success in business or sporting or whatever it might be, but they just have a mentality that they're going to get it done, and they attract the people that make it happen with them, because at the end of the day, we can't do it on our own, but we have to be the initiators of it. And I remember someone once said, a great friend of mine, who he worked diligently in our first business and he hit the top of the pay plan, and he was invited to, he and his wife, they were recognised on stage. There were 15,000 people in Sydney at this event at the Sydney Entertainment Centre, as it was back then. It's not there anymore. Anyway, he gets up and he goes, you know what, I got in, I sponsored my 6 best friends, and in that company, and to reach the top of the plane, you had to have 6 teams who achieve a certain volume, and then you're at the top of the plane, right? So he goes, I sponsored my 6 best friends, and they all went something that was called Premier Club in our business back in those days, and I went presidential, and the crowd went, wow. And then he goes, and if you believe that, I got a bridge to tell you. Because bottom line is, he was exactly like me. Joined the thing, spoke to 40, 50 people. Every single person said no. Every one of our friends said no. Couldn't sponsor anybody, all right? And just basically had to work, learn, and grow. And, everyone's journey is different. But I remember one thing he said from there that really, to me, is one of the keys, and that's, one definition of success is the ability to go from one result that you don't want to another. Some people might call it a disappointment, one disappointment to another, without any loss in enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm, yeah, absolutely.
Because as soon as you lose that spark because of a result, and I remember listening to a guy many years ago called Alan Pease. He wrote a famous book 40, 50 years ago called Body Language. Australian guy. Used to sell insurance. He used to say, everybody sells $1 million of insurance. Some people do it over 30 years. Someone like me, I do it in a few months. The ones that do it in a few months, we get the recognition, we get the fame, we get the money, right?
Exactly.
So speed, success is all about speed. But he used to say that if you're motivated by what happens next, in other words, your emotion is going to be influenced by the next result, whether it's up or down. You're going to live a life of a yo-yo, and you're going to quit very, very soon, because you get burnt out. These people that say, and we get it here in the Netherlands all the time, I don't know how many people I've met over the last couple of years who have suffered from burnout. Now, I'm sure it's a very real thing, but it's an emotional reaction to what's happening next. Whereas if you have made a decision and you have a longer term focus around what you're achieving, and you've got your eyes on that and you're moving forward to that, then your motivation stays the same. It doesn't matter what happens next is irrelevant, because you have a focus that's beyond that. Okay. Yeah. And I think it's really pertinent to be mindful of that. I mean, today, I had some tragic news this morning. A really good friend of mine passed away last night, and he's in Wee Wee, unfortunately. So we've lost one of our members. He was in Jakarta, tragically had a heart attack middle of the night. But guys, it can happen. It can happen, and we've all just got to make the absolute most of every single day, because we don't know when our time is up, and we have an opportunity. And if you I've got a fortunate, in one sense, position as country manager for the UK and the Netherlands. I get to connect in with Diego and Alessio and these guys, the key stakeholders at Leopay. but it's not easy getting them. And Kalpesh knows this. He lives on their doorstep, right? Because they are working their backsides off 15, 16, 17, 18 hours a day because they're on a mission, because they know they've got about 14 to 18 months to have everything in place. Because if you've built a massive business that has the doors capable of opening up to accept what's coming, which is mass adoption, you're going to fly through. And if you've built a big, strong business by the time the next bull run happens, 14, 15 months away, they think, guys, you're not going to believe what's going to happen. We've seen it in the past, where you put the hard yards in. It's like, I'm not much of a surfer, but being from Australia, you've got to understand surfing, right? George knows. And so he's a jet skier, so he knows all about this. But the thing is, if you're going to surf, if you see a set of waves coming in, you've got to start paddling like mad to catch that wave, okay? You can't paddle after the wave is gone. You're gone. You're not going to catch it. But you paddle like mad before the wave hits. Then you ride the wave to glory. We've got to be paddling like mad right now, guys. Right now. All right? And you've got an amazing leader in Kalpesh showing you how. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Goran. Loads of great words of wisdom and experience there. Thank you so much. Talking of wisdom, Dr. Vinod, 80 years of it under your belt. How are we doing?
I'm fine. Hi, good evening, everybody. Kalpesh, I must say, that was a fantastic training you are giving, but your targets are getting tougher and tougher. Once you say get 90 presentation in next 90 days and you made your life. So I said, yeah, I can achieve that. But today you said 7 days a week, 7 times a day. God, that's challenging. But I'm going to try that, because don't say I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it, 7 times a day, because I'm free. I'm retired GP, and I still think that I'm doing reasonably well in this business, but not as good as other people have done, like Sharon and Grandpa, who have come before and gone to level 4. So my aim is to go to level 4, and I gave myself after I become level 3 90 days, but I'm changed now to 30 days. And let's go there. They say that your income does not exceed personal development. And by listening to you every Tuesday, I'm learning slowly and slowly. 3 things I've learned: 90 days, 90 presentation, no Coca-Cola. Now today's tough challenge, 7 days a week, 7 times a day. Oh my God. But let's try. Nothing is impossible.
Absolutely.
I'm focused. Like you said, get focused, get the result. And as I said, I'm earning reasonably well in this business, considering that now I match my income that I get in my NHS pension. I don't have debt. I don't have credit card. I don't have nothing. So let's go for the next goal. The next goal is get a free iPhone when we become level 4. So that's what I'm going for. And thank you very much. My only one regret that I didn't meet Dizzy, I didn't meet Goran, I didn't meet Sue, I didn't meet you 2 years ago. I met you only this July. So God, why didn't you ring me before? And I wouldn't be with you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Beautiful. Talking of beautiful, Sue, you're up next.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this awesome training today. And Dr. Vinod, you are my guru. Oh my God. I learned so much from you. And I love that he's just taking on these challenges, right? Because he is literally smashing it month from month. So really well done to you. Hats off to you, for the effort and the energy that you bring. So thank you, Kalpesh, today. I think it was really, really important to talk about focus. I just think that, there's so much out there, isn't there? 2 years ago, we didn't know anything about crypto. And now
we think we know about everything.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And, and now there's just so much opportunity out there. And, it's easy to have that shiny object syndrome and kind of go here and kind of go there and do this and do that and get distracted. And, I've kind of, come back from South Africa and, I even said to you, I'm not going to stay longer because I've got work to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just important that, you know, we own what we're doing, we take full accountability, and just go and smash it, you know. So I'm super excited being back. You know, I've already signed up a few people in my community this week as well. And, you know, we're just going strength from strength. So, you know, I'm very, very excited. But I think the focus, and the thing is with that focus, I was speaking to one of my previous downlines before, and like yesterday, and, you know, I was just saying to him that, you know, when you bring energy to whatever you're focusing on, you just bring your energy. That's the thing that's going to give you momentum, because then suddenly people start showing up from places you didn't even think of. You know, you start attracting those, you know, manifesting or attracting, whatever you want to call it, you know, those people into your space. But that momentum and that energy is what it takes. So 100% focus, and yeah, just getting on with it and taking full accountability is what is needed here. So yeah, really excited. And you know, I'm not waiting till 2023 to, you know, hit my targets, right? You know, we've still got a couple of weeks left of December, so let's make every day count.
Brilliant. Love it. Absolutely awesome. And yeah, I often say, you know, when you take you seriously, the universe takes you seriously as well.
Yeah.
So that's what it boils down to. Thank you. Sharon.
Hello, how are we?
Hey, how are we doing?
I'm all right. Do you know what? I'm struggling with December. There's so much going on with Christmas. I'm a massive, massive Christmas fan. In fact, I'm obsessed. Right? I am obsessed with Christmas. But it's weird. It's as if you're not trying. And I said to everybody the other day, I'm working with the workers. So if you want to work, I'll work with you. If you don't, sit where you are. So that is going to be my main thing. Work with the workers, I say, and the people that are committed to making a difference. You know, sometimes we are trying to make people do more when maybe they're not ready or whatever. But I think the why, I think you touched base on it tonight. The why is the biggest thing, because about that story when that dog sat on that nail. Sometimes people aren't enough, are they? Yeah,
they're too comfortable.
They're
comfortably in pain.
Comfortably, maybe in a little bit of pain, but not uncomfortable enough to do something. But to me, I think if you look at the bigger picture of why, my why is not really for me. It just isn't. And my why is, all I have to do is turn in the zone of my children, and I just get a real surge of energy. Unfortunately, I'm feeling Christmas is I've just got a lot going on. Honestly, no excuses. I just have a lot going on. My family's coming up. My son's just moved. My son's having an operation again. I've been the doctors with him. My daughter's not been well. There's been loads of things going on. But I'm going to carry on working.
And you're in a different space to most people as well. We've got to remember that, right? I'm talking about when people have got financial pressure, when you've got debts and stuff going on, then you have to make some movements and some priorities have to change. But when you're past a lot of that. So listen, you can take as long as you want off for Christmas, because you've missed enough Christmases in the past to be where you are today anyway. So it's good, right?
You guys, there's times where I've worked where you guys wouldn't believe. I've worked 24 hours before today. I've done some crazy stuff in the past. There you go. But I think 2023 is going to be a phenomenal year for each and every one of us that take it serious for what's coming. I just feel it. I can feel, you talked about our product is money. And I think when you put it that way, when you start to understand, it's, imagine having money in your hand and it doubling, tripling, quadrupling, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. And I said to, I had a call last week, and we have a call at a huddle every Wednesday. And for me, everybody that's doing this business today is going to be very wealthy in the next 2 to 3 years. That's a given. It's what you do from now till then that's where you need to make stuff happen. And also, you know, there is no race. Yes, some people want to run with speed, but I think you find your own pace, because we're going to be around a long time, and we're going to be seeing our faith for a long time. So it's just a matter of keep going,
Ah.
keep smiling, keep moving. And I think 2 weeks to go. And I also believe after Christmas, I think I've got a little bit of time between Christmas and New Year to do some stuff.
Yeah, right.
People are off and they're bored and thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? The New Year's coming. I haven't, I think that's going to be a perfect time. So Christmas.
This what we've got, just while you're on that, what we've got can actually, between Christmas and New Year, fund Christmas and New Year.
Oh, yeah.
That's how powerful it is. People normally build up debt for Christmas and New Year celebrations. They can clear it all up in the days in between if they got focused. There's nothing going on. Normally in between that, it's such a lull. It's a dead period for most people where they just sit there kind of moping around.
Yeah.
I had
Whereas instead, you can give them a project, say, listen, imagine that you can have the best Christmas and the best New Year, and that week in between, fund it all. I'll show you how. Boom.
It can be done.
There
I was
you
just going
go.
to say that I had someone who withdrew some funds from their WeWe account, especially for Christmas funding.
Wow.
today.
See? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
That must
Like-
feel so good. Spending money
Yeah, right.
that doesn't come out of your savings or out of your pocket, it's coming out of your profits. I'm in all day long.
I haven't
There you
decided
go.
what I'm doing with mine yet.
Say that again.
I haven't decided what I'm doing with mine yet. I don't know whether to buy back in all or have it buy some more crypto. I don't know. We've got that much. We've got the
spend
old.
some,
Let
some
me help
Sharon,
you.
enjoy it.
I
Let me help
know.
you. No. See, that's what you call inexperienced bad advice, Sharon. Let me
Go buy a
show you what you
handbag.
need. Huh?
Go buy
What?
a handbag.
Oh well, that would always go down well. Hey, I tell you what, I've done some serious shopping already.
Yeah.
I love it. There you go. Let me show you. Here's what you want to do, Sharon. Look at
Go
this.
back.
Wow.
Look at that.
Right,
Here's what you can do. And then look at this. You ready? You ready?
right.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Get something that even if it 10x's, you're laughing all the way because it was free anyway. Bosh. Come on now.
You cubs, I have done some. I am stacking and racking up them contracts up, my friend. So I think
I know you are.
I'll speak to Dan and I like see. I'm more into that.
Yeah.
I'd rather that, but than buy a handbag.
There you go. That's my girl. That's what I'm talking about. And that's why you are where you are. Lunga, you're up next, buddy.
It's exciting here. It's exciting here, Mr. Cubs. Wow. It's getting exciting. Look, three things. You spoke about, you're the leader, you are the driver of your ship. Whether your team is in, whether your family is in, whether your friends are in or not, but you just have to do it. Distractions. You spoke about distractions, whereby there are so many opportunities, like Sue said, left, right, and center. Your approach there and there, but it's up to you whether you're willing to be distracted or not. Wow. That was amazing, man. That was amazing. I'm sitting here listening and I'm like, you know what? One thing, your own competition, you need to run with it. No, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. And the energy from this session, I think an hour before, and this one as well. And no, man, you're amazing. You're amazing. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm learning a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple of days and doing a couple of more big events. Super excited. Lastminute.com events, but they're going to happen. They're going to be huge. So super excited. Listen, guys and girls, it has, as always, been extraordinary. It's been fun. It's been memorable. And how many have we got before the end of the year of these? We've got next, I think 2 more, maybe 3 more. So
are you doing can I ask Kalpesh, what's next Tuesday? It's
20th.
20th.
Yeah, we got 2
20th
more.
and 27th. Yes, we've got
Yeah.
2 more. Is that it?
Two more.
2 more.
2 more. Done. Listen, guys, if you're not inviting people to Nuts and Bolts, whether they've seen the business or not, doesn't matter. If they've seen it and haven't signed up yet, get them to Nuts and Bolts. If they haven't seen it, get them to Nuts and Bolts. Do you know how many people come to these and get so much value? They just want to come and be a part of the team because they get that they're going to learn and grow and develop as people anyway, regardless of whatever else they might get as a benefit on top. So use this Tuesday to, it's a multi-pronged approach. You can build your business just from Tuesdays and then spring into inviting them to a presentation, or spring into following them up from a previous presentation. And of course, if they're in the deal already, spring into following up, hey, when are we doing another launch for you and your business? All of that. It can all happen using this as the hub to refresh and reframe and get their heads in the right space. So bang, and it's every 7 days. 90-day sprints are great, but then you break the 90-day sprint into 7-day sprints, and then you bring the 7-day sprints into daily sprints. It's all chunking. So take advantage of these moments. Much love. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that shared, added value, made a difference. And we'll see you same time, same place, same link next Tuesday. And of course, tomorrow and Friday, Thursday and Friday, presentations at the same time. Check for the links with your leaders. Much love. Thank you.